Hey, what's up, everyone? My name's Lionel. I'm your host for LT Productions, and you are watching I Watch You Watch. We are covering Tyler Perry's Sistas. This is Season 8, Episode 14. I appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. Thank you for subscribing if you are not a subscriber. Please like this video, and you can leave your comments below. And we can get into this episode. Okay, so I'm going to let you guys know that I'm liking this show. I know a lot of people got their reservations. They want what they want, but all I can say is just let the story play out. That's the best I can say. You know, we're getting bits and pieces of what Mr. Tyler Perry started and other things. I think it's time to move on a little bit. But however, writers, keep doing your thing. And let's just go on the journey. And if you don't, just get off. And get off of social media, keep on complaining about something you say that you don't want to watch. All right, so I don't have a particular order, but we're going to talk about everyone according to character. Of course, Andy just got a bug in her ear about, you know, it's time to look at Robin a little bit different because he has motive to have done what he did to Gary. Or to, not done what he did, but what was done to Gary. So Gary ended up saying, not Gary, Andy ended up rushing over to, I think, the jail precinct because she had asked Robin to go at least talk to Penelope. So she did. She was trying to stop things. Jordan was there, of course, Robin and all of them. But Robin had just got in there. First, Jordan and Robin had this little talk. Because Jordan's like, I don't really get all of this as far as my ex's ex is now representation for my sister. So then Jordan what's his face goes in there and talks to Penelope. What happened? Okay, so then Andy shows up and then Jordan and Andy start clashing again. Jordan kind of like, to me, stepped up in this episode. From other times, it's been kind of like, I'm confused, I don't get it. I think that how Andy moves, Andy just wants people to trust her blindly, but at this point, so much stuff has happened that you got to tell Jordan what exactly, or tell people what exactly is on your mind as to what you are doing here and what is your motive doing about this. Because basically she wants to break up this whole thing with Robin and just say, let's not do this. Because in her mind, she's thinking that Robin is trying to seal Penelope's fate and all that. But Jordan said, look, Robin can't be any worse than you. You know, everything has changed in my life since being with you, and it's not been well at all. And I can't blame him for that, you know. Everything's a secret. Everything he keeps asking her about, she won't tell him. So whatever. All right, so Danny, we know that Sabrina did stay overnight and she was just kind of wanted to stay later, but Danny said, I'm gonna be okay, go on to your job and all that good stuff. She got this, did she get a teddy bear delivery or did Tony show up? I forgot which one. However, Danny and Tony finally talked and they both apologized. You know, I go back and forth with this whole Danny and Tony thing because, I don't know, for me, that has just got to be some of the most nerve-wracking thing because you don't even know what is triggering this woman and you're being thrown out constantly. Now, Tony's not at fault, not innocent. I'm just going to say that. He's not innocent, but it's just like, what? Like, it's like almost you can't do right. Y'all keep saying, bring a Cowboy back. Danny would be treating Cowboy just the same. Y'all can say what you want to say, but Danny is going through a lot right now. She does say that she's talking with her therapist, and she's going to be getting on a medication, antidepressant medications, and weaning herself off of the other stuff that that are her vices. The Mary Jane and also the liquor and possibly sex too. Who knows? And I I'm loving Danny's story. I'm loving Danny's story. I'm loving Danny's story. Um, what I want to say? Danny. So later on, well, let me go. I won't go there yet. Danny's gonna have another visitor that I actually love too. In the Taylor's home, Fatima's up to something to kind of get the ball rolling and the police looking in Hayden's direction. Fatima shows up to the job, totally different, being very, in a way, docile, being very, oh, yes, Mr. Hayden, not like that in a way, but she's not putting up that same flag before, and it's just to try to help put the guards down as far as with Hayden as to what she's trying to do. She sneaks into Hayden's office and she's taking different photos of stuff that she sees as incriminating. It almost looked like she was about to get caught, but she ended up not getting caught. Zach ends up calling Karen and checks up on her. And bravo to Zach, first of all. He told Fatima that he's going to be calling Karen. And of course, she was cool with that. It's all about just being transparent and just saying what's going on and not pushing people's triggers. Of course, there is a level of respect and trust that should be with any couple or any type of relationship. However, it's still cool to be accountable for what you're doing, especially when there's been some type of foul play in those type of relationships before. Like, hey, there is nothing wrong with saying, I'm going to call Karen. And I enjoyed that. So Karen, they talked, and it was an adult conversation. And Zach apologized for the intrusion of him and being insensitive to her. And she accepts it. You know, they're getting to a different place. It's cool to have you can have little bumps in the road. That's life. And I think that the writers are doing a good job ironing stuff out and trying to move the story along. How long are we going to have angry Karen? Y'all want Karen to be punished for all the stuff she did. Cool. We understand, Zatima fans, but it's just like, when does the madness stop and we just grow up? And they're getting to that place. And it's good that they're getting to that place before the babies get here. You know? So now this time, Karen said the babies are kicking. It's not just one of the babies. So y'all stop. Stop what y'all trying to do. Anyways, yeah, so they did that. Fatima, she goes and visits Karen. And they're just wanting to get on a better page. They've been trying and all that, but she just really wanted to talk with her. I think we'll get a little bit more of that even on next week, but hey, it's a good place. Sabrina and Rich, they go to the hospital. And they find out that Rich is not a candidate to be a sperm donor. He has sickle cell. So that's interesting. But, I mean, as a sperm donor is one thing, but, I mean, I know a lot of sickle cell humans out there that still have sex and they have children. So I wonder what that means. So all we know that the fallout of that will be discussed on next week's episode. So we shall see. I mean, just because you carry the trait doesn't mean that one of the children are going to get it. But even in that, he hasn't shown any signs of having it. And I'm sure he's in his mid-30s, possibly going into his 40s. So, or early 30s, I'll say that much. You know, so I don't know. Who knows? But Karen's got decisions to make. So I talked about Andy, Karen, Sabrina, Danny, Fatima. Let me talk about Pam for a minute. Now Pam, Pam done went into the shop. And she got her boy there, her dude there. I forgot his name because I ain't seen him in forever. They decided to role play a little bit. And he's all naked. And all he got is his package in a box. And he's making a delivery. So basically they're having sex up in there. It would have been interesting to see Maurice come up in there at that point and ask for lube too. So, but whatever. That was funny. So Agent Watts is quite crazy. He runs up against Robin again. I think he runs up against Hudson again. I think in the next episode, he's going to be run up against Zach. But anyways, Agent Watt starts pulling out these pictures as to the description because he's talking with Gary at this point and asking what's going on. Who the one that stabbed you? He pulls out this picture of Fatima and says that's her. At this point, Gary, you name it Fatima, it very much seems like you are faking this amnesia. It's getting too, like, no. I don't believe it. I don't know what's going on with you, but whatever. Y'all better leave Fatima alone. Not up in these streets. But anyways, I don't know how we got back to Fatima all over again. We done got all these suspects, but nobody's really being pinged as of yet. I think it's still Jasmine, even though we ain't seen her yet. Because it just seems weird. And who was the one that put all of those drugs in his system? Who did all that? That wasn't Fatima or Zach. So what are you talking about, y'all? So, I don't know. I think possibly Gary's getting some of his memory back, but he's wanting to pay back people in his life, but it's not really making sense. But y'all can help me out in the comments just to let me know what you guys thought. Again, I'm loving the show. You know, I can't help the naysayers or whatever that they think, but hey, that's just how it is. But I appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. Leave your comments. Please like this video, and also you can subscribe if you're not subscribed. And until next week's episode, peace.